Ever wonder what makes the greats great? What makes the successful successful? What makes the brilliant brilliant? Our Tuesday meetups with the celebrities of pharma industry and science are your one-stop shop to all these answers and more. Join us for Pies of Life, an initiative of the Biopatrika Industry Mentorship Program, where we bring your dream mentors to you.
Welcome all to our Pies of Life. Fibroheal is a wound healing company. They found another use for silk than just making saris. They're ethical, they use broken silkworm cocoons, and their product heals faster, better, and is easier to apply than conventional bandaging, as is evident by testimonials for them. With over 30 LinkedIn recommendations and mostly from employees, what is even more evident is that you can be an ethical and humble successful innovator in this cutthroat Indian startup industry. This Tuesday, we have a rare gem for you. He heals wounds through silk proteins and is the founder and CEO of Fibroheal, a unique biotech venture. Welcome to Ate with Vivek Mishra. Vivek, I'd like to invite you to tell us your life story in your words now.
Sure. Thank you, Charu. Thank you for bringing me on your platform, and glad to be interacting with all of you. And thank you. I have been hearing about Narendra sir a lot and got a chance to interact with him today. Almost, I have been planning to meet him, and I mean, what a platform to meet him. So I will share my journey as a guy who was born in a small village, how I grew up, and I will share a small about 5-7 slides about Fibroheal, what we do, with 1 or 2 examples, and I will ensure that it is finished in about 20-22 minutes. So we stick to our timeline. So I was born in a small village in UP, to be precise, near Gorakhpur. So that's my birthplace, and I grew up in Arunachal Pradesh, northeastern part of India. And of course, Narendra sir also knows that because he has recently been to those parts. So he knows that how beautiful the 7 sisters are. So I grew up in Northeast, and my father is a teacher. He retired in this October. So, I mean, I got a chance to study in government school, and I mean, there was no other choice. There was, you either study in a central government KV or one of the government schools. So I studied till +2. I was never a high grade scorer and all that, but I managed to get decent marks, not into 90s, but into 60s, 70s. Wala. And parallelly, I went on to do my pharmacy because I couldn't get into medicals. That was the brutal truth. I couldn't get into medical, so I adjusted with pharmacy. I never thought of taking breaks and trying multiple times. 3rd year, I qualified GATE. The sole motivation was I will get a stipend of 8,000 rupees at that point of time. That was the only motivation. 3rd year, I qualified. And later on in 4th year, I was always weak in maths. So one small trigger from my father that, "Tum to maths mein weak ho, tumse MBA nahi hoga," led me to me doing an MBA. I did my MBA from Pune, University of Pune to be precise, main campus. So Pune as a city is also very close to me because I often go there. My elder brother is also there, and probably between Bangalore and Pune, it is difficult for me to say which is my home. Both cities are very close to me. So I did my MBA from Pune, and it was year 2010, immediately after that mega crash, 2008 wala, when we went out into the job market and realized that there is nothing available for us and everyone is going to rip you apart because Sensex has came down to 8,000. So everyone thinks we're all bad. And this gave me an experience, I would say. I got a chance to work for a startup in edutech space. That startup is quite big now. It's called Simply Learn Solutions, and Blackstone is an investor in that group. So I was one of the core members, first 3 or 4 guys, what I see in Biopatrika or what they are discussing, 3-4 guys initially. And I got their registered education provider ID also from Project Management Institute, that is 3147. That was way back in 2010 when I started. So in one room and 4 or 5 of us are trying to make different things, and it was in edutech space. Parallelly, I went on to work with micro labs, and then I worked for British Biologicals, where I was instrumental in launching a failed division. I relaunched a failed division, which was in critical nutrition space. And within a span of 9 months, I was able to raise a team of 117 guys with a sales of about 80 lakhs. So more than anything, when you build this kind of things and when it scaled up, it was nothing planned. But I mean, as a young guy, you take the challenge without knowing anything. And sometimes ignorance is a bliss. When you don't know what is right, it helps you to grow. So probably that was the reason. The year was 2012-13. In 2013, I got a chance to work with Tata Chemicals. Tata Chemicals acquired a company called Metahelix Life Sciences in Bangalore. And I got a chance to work with some of the legends like Dr. K.K. Narayanan, and whom I used to work with them very closely. And I used to lead their rice seed business, which contributed to about 46% of their business. So due to time constraints, I'm not sharing that story. That's again a long story, how I got into a pharma guy, getting into edutech space, getting into nutrition, and getting into agri space, seed business. This was the time, while interaction with various farmers, various people, I realized that I'm good in dealing with people. At the same time, you realize there are a lot of challenges which can be addressed. And while having food at one of the farmers' house, we realized that good silk sari comes from grandmother to mother to daughter-in-law, generations together, a good silk sari. That was one of the stories which we heard, and it was a passing phase, and you get on with your work. After that, I met one of cardiothoracic surgeons in Command Hospital, Bangalore, who happened to be an alumnus of Mayo College, Ajmer. And he introduced me. He was leading the cardiothoracic function, and this was mostly related to my mother's treatment, because I trust Indian Defense Services more than anyone else. So I thought that my mother checkup, I will get it done at Air Force Command Hospital. And that's how he introduced me to a gentleman called Bharat Tandon. So Bharat built a company in the space of animal health, and it was called Vet Care, which entered into a joint venture with a Dutch company called Provimi, and later on it was acquired globally by Cargill. And he's a very enterprising guy so what I found is, a mentor to me, a guy who has built the business, scaled it up, and exited it. So as a young 26, 25-year-old guy, 27-year-old guy, you need to look at a mentor, because that is the time when, success can get into your head immediately. Even slight success, and that can derail the whole, things what you are planning to do. Probably that was the time when my development as an entrepreneur or as a manager, or probably, becoming wise, what they call it. All those things I learned from the gentleman and Mr. Bharat Tandon. And we started the journey of this research together. In 2016, we did trials and all that at AIMS Trauma Center, Delhi. And initially, the whole thought process was silkworm stays inside a perfectly closed system, which is cocoon, and able to breathe. So it's a perfectly breathable material. Then we realized that a lot of academic institutions has done a lot of research in this area. We found 50s of papers, but no product in the market. That was also one of the trigger points. Kuch to sahi hai. So this was the reason. And then we interacted with CSRTI, Mysore, Central Silk Board. Then everyone used to say, it's exactly like 20 years back, when we were in class 6, 7, we heard that biotech mein bahut scope hai. And still I'm hearing that biotech mein bahut scope hai. Then we realized, let's jump into the ocean and see if there is actual scope, or if it is all this. So that's how we started the journey. In 2017, we registered the company, Fibroheal Wound Care, on 6th April 2017. And we started the operation on 1st July, thanks to the change in GST rules. VAT, CST, and then GST was coming. So 3 months we waited for. And 1st July 2017, we started the operations of Fibroheal. To start with, we found that there were certain challenges in getting those approvals, because DCGI is a very big challenge on regulatory per se, and silk is a natural material, natural biomaterial. So initial concept was done under Ayush program to try it out, and you get to know whether it works, it don't work, what happens, because you have to you will fail multiple times, and before you see the success. And parallelly, we also started constructing our plant. In the process, we had some collaborations with some of the leading institutes, because now it all looks quite glamorous, but that point of time we ourselves were not knowing where we are getting into, but we are doing something. That was the idea. The next story from here onwards, after my presentation, I will take it forward. So I will just touch base the presentation. So That's the technology on which we are working on. Biotech startup leveraging biomaterial property of silk to develop various innovative wound management solutions, catering to different stages of wound healings using our IP protected technology. So far, we have commercialized 10 products, have treated more than 25,000 patients, and our products are available in more than 70 hospitals. Most importantly, the driving force is economic multiplier potential across entire value chain. The farmers, the patients, the hospitals. So people talk about different kinds of economies, different kinds of things, but here I am able to see that there is a direct impact which you are making in the farmer's life, the patients who are being treated in hospitals. Now comes the name, why Fibroheal? So silk cocoon has two proteins. One is called sericin and second is called fibroin. We use the inner material that is called fibroin, and healing through fibroin. That's why the brand was given the name Fibroheal, or the company was named as Fibroheal, healing through fibroin. And the main purpose of our startup or Fibroheal is to solve a genuine problem of acute and chronic non-healing wounds with the potential of having an economic multiplier. Because I firmly learned during my period of working with various stalwarts in the industry that unless everyone makes money and it is sustainable for everyone, the business won't flourish. So, which I carry forward with me. Moving next, these are some of the awards which we have won over a period of time, including National Technology Award 2020. And this is the research what I meant, how silk has evolved for a period of time from 150 AD till you can see 2020 and on. And you can see, and this is where we fit in the after 2013, you see that is the area when we are, we fit in. Now comes, what is the problem which we are addressing? There are certain patients have difficulty in healing, slow healing, no healing, or complicated wounds take much longer time to heal. There is increased hospitalization cost due to longer hospital stay and decreased quality of life during treatment, healing, and post-healing. The solution, which is our Fibroheal range of products, are completely biocompatible, non-allergenic, non-cytotoxic, allows air permeability, has high tensile strength. Even there are stories that 1 gram silk is stronger than 1 gram steel. And during World War I, there was a silk commissioner based in Berhampur, West Bengal. So because it used to be used as ropes of parachute. Next, it can be heat sterilized. Suppose a small part you have used, unlike some of the other animal proteins, this can be heat sterilized. You can autoclave and reuse it. And it has efficient healing process and cost effective. This is some of the things what we are making a difference. This is the silk farmers. This is how you get the cocoons, the broken cocoons. You can see in the next photo, we have broken cocoons. In the third, we have this R&D setup and the team. And we have a very young and dynamic team in place. And next is the product. Now coming to the societal impact. I have highlighted based on sericulture, farmers and silk industry and wound care. So India produces 33,000 metric tons of silk, and more than about 10.6 lakh people are directly dependent on in Karnataka related to sericulture wala thing, and more than 80 lakh people across the country. Large amount of silk is wasted in the value chain of reeling, weaving, and can be used to develop innovative and cost-effective wound healing solutions. And if non-textile applications of silk becomes mainstream, it can lead to enhanced earnings of the farmers. Everyone talks about doubling farmers' income, but it won't happen on its own. You have to take steps to do that. And it will improve the economy of silk production. The reason being, there is still India, it's still sort of silk and it imports from China. Now coming to its other application in wound care, we are able to develop affordable and cost-effective products for patients. It lowers hospitalization cost, reduces the duration of hospital stay due to faster wound healing. Minimal dressing change is required, so it reduces the nursing staff and doctors' time and increases the quality and longevity of life of patients during treatment. These things I have highlighted because the fun is when you create an impact. Whether you have 10 crore or you have 100 crore, that is secondary. But when you make an impact, that there's an inherent joy which you get, when you make an impact. Moving forward, I will also touch base on the challenges which I faced while being an entrepreneur or first-time entrepreneur, because I come from a service background and I don't have, there is no business background attached to me. So it was a good learning experience. I will also highlight some of the challenges, because once you start a company, it's not an instant success. It looks all glamorous, but you will face what do we say? Everyone will say no to you. You yourself will feel certain times that all my friends and colleagues are going ahead, and is it worth it? So I have also touched base on that how I have handled that over a period of time. And but before that, I will also show you the impact. This is the case of a burn wound, day 0 and day 15. You can see the product which is used here is our Fibroheal AG foam, which is silk and silver. So this is one case what I have highlighted. And second is, this is case of a diabetic foot amputation at Ames Trauma Center. You can see day 0 when 2 fingers were removed, and this is day 12. So just 2 cases I have highlighted. Now I will touch base upon the challenges and how to stay motivated during those times. Now, entrepreneur and optimism. These are 2 things which many of you may have thoughts to become an entrepreneur in various fields, but these are few things which I have learned over a period of time. And I still feel that, these things can be, should be discussed. So I made it a point that I will put it in my presentation for the benefit of everyone if it can. One is to accept it and move on accordingly. It took me much longer time to reach this stage whether I have to accept it. Sometimes you fail, you have to agree that I failed and move on in life. You should not become emotional about certain decisions or while taking decisions. It can be detrimental to your peace and decision-making ability as well as your venture. Overall, to build a startup, passion is the key and letting go of few things. These are the 2 main things, passion and letting go of few things. कि अगर ठीक है किसी से रफ अप हो गया तो हो गया, ठीक है, move on. Don't try to overanalyze it. More analysis will lead to paralysis. So whole function will be delayed. So don't do that. Secondly, look at the commitment or look at the impact or look at the purpose. When you are committed to something right and big, I mean, ultimately, whatever happens in the situation, your gut will ensure that you focus on that and you will not give up. So not giving up is the second key message. And once you have that thing, naturally, for sometimes you may feel low, sometimes you feel down, but you will be able to bounce back and you will be able to move forward. Thirdly, keep calm and keep revisiting the purpose. Why I have started this, what I want to do. This will ensure that you have the demeanor to succeed and you will keep flying. Not giving up is the key. So these are some of the things which you should focus on or try to build, which will ensure that you will remain positive or optimistic. This has helped me. That's why I have put in my presentation. Secondly, now the next question comes. I remember when Charu introduced me, she said, I have a lot of recommendation. But one most important thing, what we see is while having anyone in our team, we look at human qualities rather skills. You can be a PhD from some of the top institute or from the top management college, or you can have the best of the grades. Skills can be taught, but human qualities are difficult to be taught, or rather it is impossible to teach at a later stage. So we focus more on the human quality, like someone who is taking initiatives, who has this problem solving approach. I am from research, but there is a problem in production. So there may be related to this machine effect. How can we contribute to that? And not cribbing on the situation or any problem which comes. So these are some of the things which we look at when we try to find the people with us, because ultimately when someone becomes part of the system, we carry people along with us. We don't leave the hand midway, and Corona is the live example that during wave 1 and wave 2, we have not removed anyone from the company. We have paid full salary, not even a single deduction, although the business has impacted badly, and there was very good increment to our colleagues. Have less people, but have that much which whom you will be able to take care of them well. Also, second after that, it's the leader. As a leader, how you should behave, because don't worry, I'm also a human being at the end of the day. You may look confident, but deep down you are also scared. So as a leader, you should be passionate, confident, inspiring, honest, and open and transparent, because many times you will find yourself in a situation where there is a lot of conflict. Both persons are important to you. So you should take your ground and should have the guts to say that directly on their face. Say, hey, this is right and this is wrong, and this is what you need to improve upon. You need to face challenges, yet be brave and prudent while maintaining a positive approach. And this will come if we respect and value people who are working with us. We maintain honest communication in all the relationships we have. And if our vision and purpose is in line with that, then we can be leader. And lastly, don't forget to unwind yourself. It helps you to recharge yourself, and it helps you to better decision making to take the next plunge. Many we people feel that if you are burnt out, if you have given too much of time, if you are tired with all dark circles and others in the place because I am working 18 hours a day, trust me, that won't help you anyway. Unwinding is the key. Unwind yourself. You will be able to, you don't need to take 20 decisions, take 4 or 5 decisions, but ensure that it is for the larger cause and it will have much larger impact. With this, thank you very much. These are some of my social connects if someone wants to, and that's all from my side. Hope I'm on time.
Very much, Vivek, very much. I mean, your story is so raw. It was so real and so honest. And I mean, I came to this talk wanting to learn more about how silk is used and everything. But you've just in 20 minutes, you've taught me so much. You're such a nice human being. It's like, my major takeaway here. And I didn't realize that silk could be a sustainable solution, holistically improving patient and farmer life, and being economically viable.
Vivek, thank you. What a fantastic journey. बहुत अच्छा journey था. Or it is very close to personal to me because मेरा जन्म गोरखपुर का है.
अरे वाह sir, that's really good to know.
याद नहीं है ज़्यादा, लेकिन बचपन वहाँ था. But so there's a personal touch. Thank you for sharing that. I guess the question that I had for you was, you started off your journey doing these doing some jobs. What was that point that you decided job nahi karna hai, entrepreneurship karna hai? What was that event?
I think Naren, you have hit the nail on the head directly. I will tell you, मेरे केस में शुरू से था कि I have to make a difference. First, शुरू के 3 साल में I have changed around 4 jobs, and everyone used to tell me you won't find a job. Because you need that stability, you need this, you should not change this much. But मेरे केस में था कि मेरे को जब तक मजा नहीं आएगा तब तक मैं कुछ नहीं, I can't hold myself, मेरे को मजा नहीं आ रहा है. तो that मजा I found in when I turned around British Biologicals critical care division, जो कि बंद हो चुका था. I revived it and able to scale a team up. उसमें मुझे मजा आया. तो out of those 3.5 years, 2 साल में वहां था. Then I realized कि जहां पे एकदम शांति है और अच्छे से लाइफ चल रही है, वहां I become unfit. So आज मैं ये बोल पा रहा हूँ, उस वक्त ये पता नहीं था सर. So that's
thank you for sharing that. तो मजा आना is the key point. ठीक है, thank you.
And that's how it. So Fibroheal, I won't say that it was a very planned startup doing step 1, step 2, step 3, but ये है कि कुछ कर रहे हो, अच्छा लग रहा है. जैसे I will also share one example कि we developed first dressing, which was Fibroheal biomodified bilaminate, which has one side hydrophobic, other side hydrophilic, which will allow air permeability. सारे technical points हमने सब सही किया, and we failed miserably when we gave in the hospital because it caused infection in burn patient. And the Biotech also supported for burn cases. Then what we realized is कि हमारे seat के बीच में और skin के बीच में there was development of anaerobic microbes. So the burn patient got infected. And next you can imagine how I would have faced the surgeon. It took me again, quite a bit of time. And that led to a development of a product called MESS. So now my MESS is used today in burn patient, and it gives very good results. So there was a key learning from failure, and that led to a product which works beautifully.
Thanks, Vivek, and thanks for even partners for Biopatrika. I am Virender, founder of Biopatrika, and we try to reach out to startups and highlight their journey. And your journey is always so inspiring. I remember 2011. So I was doing one course on biomaterials, and I actually as part of that course, I designed project on spider silk for wound healing.
Oh.
So yeah, so because there are 2 silks available, and spider silk has their own properties which could be exploited. So, but that was one project we submitted and forgot. So,
trust me, that has huge potential also. Someone should take it forward. Even IIT Kharagpur has worked a lot on that. IIT Guwahati has worked on that. And I mean, there is a lot of potential which is linked, which is there.
Right. And so my question for you is like, uh, I being like BTech in biotechnology and then like masters, PhD, many of us like need to do internships as part of our coursework. And I know like it's very, very difficult to find good place to just learn something that will help me in future. Or so can Fibroheal be one venture where people could like find summer internships or maybe 6 months internship to just learn something and then yeah.
Yes, so definitely, Virendra, if you see from 2019 onwards, and particularly last 1 year, we had churned out 16 interns from our lab, R&D. And now we are extending it to other areas also. We are onboarding 3 students from Naiper, Mohali, for their internship. So that way we are quite open to, ensuring that, students get a chance. However, recently I have realized that what we do is we recruit 3rd-year interns. 3rd year, you do internship with us for 40 days, 45 days. 4th year, you do your project with us. And if you do well, and if you want to get into a job, please join Fibroheal. So we have a couple of students who have done there from RV College of Engineering, who have done their 3rd-year internship with us, then 4th-year project with us. Now they are deployed in, in our own lab, and they are working closely with a couple of students who are doing their PhD with us under PMRF program with Indian Institute of Science. So we have attached with them. So they are helping hand together in development of a new concept product. So that way, as you rightly highlighted, we are open for that. We are open for these kind of opportunities, but there is limited what we can do. Probably, I think 15, 16 is a quite decent number considering the size which we are in at this point of time.
Hi, Vivek. I'm Charu. I'm also the mentorship program manager at Biopatrika and also host some podcasts on our Konnect channel. I wanted to ask, so I saw that you had won a prize from CRPF when you were showing the accolades that you have. So is there a collaboration with the military for Fibroheal products? And also I want to know a little bit more on, you talked about going to Command Hospital in Bangalore. So was that also, you said it was one of your inspirations. So was helping the military or getting involved that way also one of the important goals when you started Fibroheal?
Definitely it was, but not in a specified manner that way. Command Hospital has helped me significantly because 60 dressing I have done from my own hands. I really respect that group captain who made me do 60 dressings, not 1 or 2. But after that, when you got a 6 lakh rupee worth of order, that is priceless. I mean, no money can buy that, that. And today I have guys covering there, but still I make it a point. Now he is in Research and Referral Delhi, Army Research and Referral Delhi. And I still, whenever I go to Delhi, I ensure that I go and say hello to him. Although that point of time, it was a harassment. So as you rightly indicated, we have understanding with some of the leading defense bodies across the country. We understand them, their challenges. There are certain issues which they have. And even we try to develop product which can be of great importance to them. And we also collaborate with some of the institutes who are working in those areas. Because as of now, wound healing is one area where we specialized in. And in wound healing also, what we learned is each wound is different and you need to heal different types of wounds in different phases. For example, tissue management, infection, inflammation, moisture management, epithelialization, and scar. So you need to have product addressing to all the stages. You can't have one product which will fit everywhere, which is not true. So that way we are developing various products as well as the next set of products, which we are in the, we have some plan, which, have some of these flavors in this, and where we have a couple of people who are guiding us on those lines. You will come to know in next about 18 months time.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivek.
Hi, this is Santoshi here. I'm a PhD student in regenerative sciences, and your presentation was amazing, great. I mean, I just was very fascinated when I saw the invitation from Charu, and I was like, yeah, I want to learn more. And thank you very much for all the entrepreneurship skills that you and all the pains that you have gone through and how to deal with it. So it's not just Fibroheal, but Ontroheal as well. I think you should change your name. So my question is based upon the timeline that you showed. Since when, silk is being used for human life. And you also showed there are some products which is already there. What do you think that they are lacking? And the other question is that, so I'm working with pluripotent stem cells and we generate cardiomyocytes out of these. So my question is, like, now everyone is trying to, also like for meat cultivation, people are trying to go in lab meat cultivation. So how does this aspect scale up also for silk? Like, do you think that we can also generate silk in the labs, and maybe, then it's much more viable and we don't have to probably import or export, import from China. So what do you think about that?
Very good point, Santoshi. One part that, yes, it's revolutionary that meat is being cultivated in lab. That can change the whole industry and change the dynamics in a big way. And of course, you will be able to raise multi-million dollars also, because a lot of VCs will support you because of various greenhouse gases and various other effects, pollution, environment, and you name it. And probably Naren sir can throw more light on those aspects. But when you talk about silk, there is a set of 52 amino acids. The chain is 52 amino acid. So if you have 2, 3, or 4, probably you will be able to synthesize it. But 52, I think that it will be much more complicated for you, number one. Number two, silk is a self-assembling protein. Slight change in pH, slight change in temperature, slight change in shear force. That's the reason why not many people have come forward with silk, taking it to the commercial level. Because a lot of research has happened, but no one has been able to get there. Probably we have been lucky that we were not knowing that much science at that point of time when we started, and that's how we have been able to, and in the process we learned it. So I think the other aspect, it may be possible, but it will be very challenging. I'm not sure about it, but it won't be easy for sure in lab. And I don't see there are enough synthetic biomaterials, whether polycaprolactone, polyglycolic acid, and other things, but none of them has quality like a natural biomaterial. So I mean, when you will be able to see a difference, where it takes usually 2.5 weeks to heal a wound, with silk you will be able to heal in less than 1.5 weeks. So 1 week saving you can count on from the hospital perspective. So I'm not sure I've been able to answer your question or not, but I feel that it will be quite difficult to synthesize silk in lab, number one. And not to forget that silk cocoon contains 95% protein. So there is no shortage of proteins in terms of that. Naturally, India imports for the textile usage. But if I only consider the silk, which is grown around 50 kilometers of Bangalore, I will be able to supply to the whole world. So that way, I think that there is a lot of scope from the existing ecosystem itself.
Just building upon the same question, if I may ask
sure.
Another question.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So do you think that it would be more beneficial to actually add an extra layer of cells? So I'm not into this field so much, so I don't know what are the exact cells. I don't know, something that, some cells which are healing, like dermal cells or something like that, which we can just coat it on the already product that you have, and that can maybe promote the healing much faster. I don't know if I was clear with my question.
No, that can be done. The silk fibrin also, if you look at it, works in 2 ways. Once it's a scaffold, it starts working immediately after the inflammation stage. So that leads to faster, if you compare collagen and silk, which is again from an animal source, collagen starts at the proliferation stage, while silk starts at the inflammation stage, 1 stage earlier. And that leads to, so there are 2 mechanisms. One is NF beta pathway, and the second is that amino acid sequence specified GAGAGS, which helps in faster cell attachment. But yes, definitely these things can be done. And we are also in touch with a couple of profs in STEM. So hopefully we'll be able to come up with some of those things.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Santosh.
Sunena, before you can go ahead, I will take one question from the chat box. So Mr. Nagesh has this question. We generally get to hear that going through regulatory submission is very difficult and tiring. So is there any help, assist, or funding that you managed to receive from government bodies during development phase?
Yes, we got some support from Biotech as well as Department of IT/BT and Science and Technology, Government of Karnataka. See, not to forget, regulatory is something because it's a black box. People think it's a black box, which is actually not. They ask for simple thing, you show the safety profile so that your product, whatever you are saying, it does that, and it is not causing any damage in long term. If you are able to address that, I'm sure regulatory bodies will help you out. But the process is, no one wants to get the hands dirty, and for that, of course, in any government department, when you are dealing with, there will be certain level. You can't expect it like a Flipkart and Amazon that you press the app and you will get it. So the legwork is more when you look at the regulatory related things, which has been streamlined significantly. Last week, we had a discussion from Startup India side, and the Chief Secretary of Ministry of Pharmaceuticals was also there, and he told that already a lot of initiatives has taken, but mostly this is a question which can be addressed in a better manner. Yeah, so that way I won't say it is easy, but definitely there is always a way out. You need to find way out. There is no fixed answer to that. You need to find a way out, and you need to fulfill all the criteria, whatever they ask for.
Yeah,
that's from my side. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Vivek, I think that you mentioned a very important point. सबको ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत मुश्किल है, लेकिन it is a lot of common sense.
Yes.
And the regulators are not your enemies.
Yes.
They actually want people to succeed, right? But like you said, it's a very good analogy. It's not Flipkart. So it is case by case, depending on what your product is and how safe, and how their job is to protect the public from any safety related issues.
Very true.
Yeah, they're actually not so concerned about how well it works. As long as it is safe. If you make a product that doesn't work, the market will not buy anything from you.
Very true.
The regulator's job is to make sure that it is safe. But I think you said it very well. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you, sir.
It is not difficult. मेहनत करना पड़ता है.
मेहनत करना पड़ता है, sir.
Yes, Sunena, please go ahead.
Hi, Vivek. I'm Sunena. I'm also a part of Biopatrika team. My question to you is this. So from the stage of idea till today, you must have faced many challenges overall. Every single day would be a different challenge. So could you throw some light on what did you find the most challenging? Like, was it the initial setup stage, or the scale up, or any stage that you're currently going through?
Yeah, trust me, at the points which you touched, scale up, funding, regulatory, product ideation, all this were challenging. But the most challenging thing which I still find today is managing the egos of people. Okay. My production manager, my R&D manager, my assistant manager, my deputy manager, that is something, and they will not look at the bigger, and ensuring that everyone's vision is aligned to a common goal. I think that is something which is the most challenging thing, most challenging job which I handle. And many days you come back home and you realize that aaj maine kya kiya, I have wasted my day, but you realize that you have solved a big conflict wala thing. So handling human beings, handling man is one of the most challenging aspects what I face day to day. All other things are manageable. Even funding and other things, you will be able to find a solution, but there is no solution to these things. You have to learn on your own and figure out on your own. You may read thousands of books, but don't worry, no theory works on the human beings. Each individual is different. So this was the honest answer what I face day to day.
No, sure. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Shruti and then Vihan.
Hi, sir. So my question is mostly in the research side, the biopolymers. So biopolymers are mostly used for the wound healing, the research, and so on. So what are the challenges that people are not taking up the silk fiber as a research element? Because I could see it's quite novel. And I could only think of biopolymers when it came for wound healing. I mean, what is the limitations that people are not adopting it? And is there any advantage that biopolymers can offer against the silk
Yes.
protein?
Yeah. One of the important aspect is handling silk protein itself, which I told you that, slight change in temperature, slight change in pressure, slight change in pH. And that's where we started with we started our things with reeling waste, and we moved to cut cocoon or the broken cocoons. The reason being, once you are at very early stage, once you're trying to develop it, you can, you have to improve upon this. Secondly, anything which is from natural source and something which you create artificially, my learning so far has been that natural source thing will always be ahead of whatever you synthesize in lab. Probably on technical side, Naren sir can throw more light on these aspects, but that has been my practical learning, what I saw. One is silk, and not to forget, in silk, we also have a material called Centella asiatica, an extract called asiaticoside. So that's the combination which works beautifully. Both have synergistic effect in ensuring that faster wound closure. So that way you have to figure it out. You have to find, there is no, I mean, each material behaves differently. Each material has its own plus and minus. For example, if you take sutures, a different material works. Catgut works differently. If it's a polyglycolic acid, it works differently. When it is wound, particularly if it's a diabetic foot ulcer or a cavity wound, tunnel wound, collagen powder or collagen particles may be of great help. Even, for example, burns, collagen may be helpful because it has got the suicidal tendency that it will, with MMPs, it will break down and it will ensure that no new tissues are damaged. However, when it comes to wound healing, silk has a different plus point compared to any of those biomaterials, because other biomaterials, I can throw light from the wound healing per se. Other biomaterials will keep the area moist, and this in turn will ensure that wound heals with a passive mechanism of creating an ideal suitable environment. While with silk, you are creating an environment. Secondly, you are actively participating in the wound healing process. Faster cell attachment, faster closure. So that's how I think silk is a novel material. It is difficult to handle, and that's the reason not many people choose the difficult path. That's why silk has not become mainstream. I hope I am able to answer the doubt what we have, Shruti.
Vihang, please.
Hello everyone. This is Vihang. Let me just introduce myself quickly. I am working in Syngene International here in Bangalore, and I'm quite excited with your talk. You not just touched upon the technical aspects of it, but the story itself was very inspirational. So I found it very exciting to learn about your startup, and it's amazing. So a couple of things I just wanted to point out. Another fellow member asked about whether silk can be made in the lab. So that just took me back for some years when I was doing my PhD in Germany, and there is one company in Munich called AM Silk. So they actually are recombinantly making spider silk, and spider silk has had applications in some industrial settings. I think some, like where you need some kind of a mesh to filter out something, maybe some vacuum cleaner filters or dry heat fans or something like this. I mean, I don't exactly recollect what their applications are, but struck came in my mind right now when I was listening to your talk. So maybe at one point, even the silk that comes from silkworm could also have a potential to be made recombinantly, not synthetically, because when you mentioned that there are 52 amino acids, and of course you cannot make amino acids synthetically and then join them together by peptide bonds. That is absolutely it's a very ineffective approach of doing it. But we can clone the gene that makes fibroin in any cell. It could be yeast or insect cell or E. coli or anything, and then express that protein. I'm just talking theoretically. There might be a lot of practical challenges, because as you said, that silk itself has stability issues with respect to pH, temperature, this, that, whatever. So we need to maybe figure it out. So that's just wanted to share that one thing, that there is a company doing that.
Sure. Yes, Vihang. There are five companies in the world which are working in the area of silk.
Okay.
The Germany, it is called Fibroheal. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have Sofragen in US. Then you have Derma Silk in France. You have Fibroheal in India, and you have another one company, I think, Silk Tech and Cocoon Biotech. Cocoon Biotech makes fluids for this replacement of synovial fluid. And series scaffold is used as soft tissue reconstruction, particularly breast and other kind of internal body organs. And then you have derma silk, which is for wounds. Fibroheal has an extensive wound range, but no one is directly in the area of wound. So these are 4 or 5 companies who are working on the silk, and the grandmaster sits in University of Tufts. His name is Professor Kaplan. You can connect to him. He is the grandmaster of silk and its various biomaterial uses. So probably he will be able to throw some light. And in case of tussar silk or hunted silk, jungli silk bolte hain, it is mostly RGD. RGD is the key in hunted silk. So RGD आपके लिए थोड़ा easy होगा, but when it comes to mulberry, what we use, because मेरे पास दूसरे केस में ये भी देखना है. In our farm, we tried even getting some of the worms from Jharkhand, that hunted silk. And then, you feed them with asoka ke patte and all that. But Bangalore environment was not suitable for them.
Got it.
And now there is a lot of concept. There is a lot of other concept. Even Reliance is getting into this silk technology.
Okay, interesting.
So there is something called as drag silk, so which they are interested in.
Very interesting. So I just have one more point. Like you said that if you literally collect silk from all whatever silk farms that you have in the 50-kilometer radius of Bangalore, you would be able to supply to the whole country. So if that much silk production we already have, then why are we actually importing it from China?
Textiles. Human aspiration. Yes, human aspirations of having that luxury and other things. So for textile uses, a silk has more. So silk is the only protein which is fat-free, kind of. I mean, on a broader level, silk is a fat-free protein. 95% of cocoon is protein. About 23-24% sericin, and remaining 73%, 72% fibroin. And then you will have gluey material and other kind of thing, which is more binding it together. So, so 95% protein, and the fibroin what I use forms the 70-72% of the cocoon.
Got it. Okay.
So imagine the kind of things we will be able to make a difference. And my one dressing lasts for up to 7 days. So 2 or 3 dressing, I will be able to heal the wound.
Got it.
So that's why I said that I don't see my consumption going to beyond 1 ton. Even when I touch a certain level of revenues, my consumption won't be even 10 ton.
Let's do the rest of the questions after this rapid fire round, where we can get to know Vivek a bit more with these spontaneous answers, and then we can continue because we're almost at the top of the hour. So Shruti is going to host the rapid fire round, and then we can continue with the questions.
Sure.
I would like to ask 5 quick questions, and let's see the response. Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words.
I think one word will more. I will be optimistic.
Yeah, okay,
I will put myself optimistic. Yeah.
Okay, great. So which domain gave you biggest learning experience? Is it pharmacy, MBA, nutrition, or agriculture that you were involved in?
My summer internship where I sold newspapers.
Okay. Okay. So if you wanted to take a critical decision for your company, you will go for a gut feeling or you will depend on data?
Gut feel.
What you would wish that you learned sooner? That one thing.
Controlling my emotions.
Okay. Okay. And the last question, if you're not working, what you would be engaging in during your leisure time?
Interaction with many people, learning different things from people.
Just by observing.
Just by observing, interacting, and that's when you learn. The learnings are best.
Okay. Thank you for the answers. That was great speaking to you.
Thank you, Shruti.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, Vivek. We can have one last burning question. And I know that Vivek is so approachable, and it's just such an interesting topic, and his passion is infectious. So one last burning question.
So I could say the Fibroheal is the term which is very close to the me, because I work on the fibroin in my master's project. Yes, for a different application, that is for controlled release application. And secondly, that is I'm currently working on the wound healing application as my PhD research project. So both the terms, that is the fibroin and wound healing, are very close to me. So that's why I attend this presentation, and it is a very inspirational presentation by Vivek sir. So I just want to know from the Vivek sir, that is what care should be taken by the researchers while doing their research in the lab, and so as to get easily scale up on the industrial scale.
Very valid points, Alice. One of the important aspects which I find also, I keep telling to my boys in lab, because I have one gentleman who leads my R&Ds from ISER, Kolkata, and then we have various people from ISC and other places. So don't take it otherwise, but I will give a very cutthroat answer to it. Any good science should help you feed people, or any good science should have the ability to scale up and should be able to give results. So that is where I see that most of the researchers, they get engrossed so much into something which is very deep. And many a times what Naren sir highlighted, as in regulatory, there is common sense. So if my starting material is broken cocoon, I know that this is silk protein. I don't need to waste 2 days in finding out that whether it is silk protein or not. So this is just a crude example I gave you. That's many a times what is textbook related stuff or what is basic stuff, you need to get going with that. Look at the bigger cause. And once as you move on, starts fine tuning the things, because there will be no perfect situation. It all may look like very, I will give you, Naren sir has a career over 30 years. He has built Biocon, various products, building his new startup. But sir, you can throw some light that there is no ideal situation ever in life. We will always be you can throw some light on this, sir, probably to answer Shailesh.
I think this is, you've said so many good things. We'll leave it at that. Baad mein baat karte hain. But you're absolutely right. There's no such thing as perfect. Everyone has to figure out their own right.
Right. So Shailesh, us hisab se, I think you look at something what can be scaled up and why someone will take that concept. Your concept may be very fascinating to you, but if Fibroheal has to take a concept or your research to the market, is it worth spending that couple of crores, the 1.5 years? And will it have that kind of revenues which can impact 40-50 lives or can generate an employment of 40-50 people? So if you have the bigger things at your thought, I think you will be able to figure out what is important for you. But at the same time, you should not get away completely from the science. Once you reach a stage, then dig deep, dig your heels deep and try to find more and more and more. But get going somewhere. Thank you, Shailesh.
Yeah, thank you.
Swati, you have a question.
Yes, thank you, sir. So it was a very inspiring talk, sir. And I wanted to ask, when you launch a new product and the patients see that, this silk fiber, a biomaterial, so what is the acceptability that the patients take this new product for wound healing? Because there are many products in the market and then there is brand value also, which people see. So when you launch a new product, how was the acceptability rate and what challenges did you face?
Yes. So first thing is, Indian company kari nahi sakti hai. Indian company can't innovate. If J&J has done it or Smith & Nephew has done it, I believe it. You are an Indian company. You don't have a big backing. You don't have crores of funding with you. You can't do it. So that is number one. And where it takes 3 visits for a Johnson & Johnson guy to get his product used, or 1 visit, it takes about 9 visits for me to do that. So hammering. That is the only thing which helps us as we take our product. Because first day you go and give the patients. So our customers are surgeons or some of those doctors. So first you keep the sample, sir, this is for free. The product cost 5,000 or 3,000 rupees. It will lie in his cupboard. You go after 3 days. Sir, did you get a chance to use it? Then he will say, no, I will definitely look at it. Then again, you go after 3 days. Sir, oh, Vivek, extremely sorry. I am not able to do this. I will do it on Monday. Again, you put a WhatsApp message on Monday. Again, you go on Wednesday. So once you followed it, you are sure that within 1 month, it will be used. But once it is used, the product performs. And then the product speaks on its own. Your biggest challenge is to ensure that the customers use it for first 2 or 3 times. And that is something where you will give up because, 2 times, 3 times, say, nahi use kar rahe, theek hai, chodo. So in our case, our philosophy is catch hold of 5 guys, 3 guys, and make them love your product. Make them forcefully love your product for some time. Then the product will speak on its own.
Yeah.
I hope I gave you the answer what you wanted exactly. It's exactly the way it
Yes,
is.
sir. Because as a biology student, for example, when I saw the dog's saliva is also healing. So when I
Yes.
told my friends of engineering and other subjects, so they don't understand. When they have to see and then only they'll understand. So that's why I asked this question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Swanti.
Thank you so very much, Vivek. Your advice will carry with us, and we hope to be as challenging and fearless in our ventures as well. We wish swift tides to Fibroheal, and we'll wait 18 months for your special announcement for the
Sure.
next invention.
Sure.
Everyone, please send in your burning questions to Vivek personally, especially about the internship opportunities that Fibroheal may have for you. His LinkedIn information is in the chat box. I suppose that's a good way to start your interaction with him and your networking and further your mentoring opportunity. So goodbye, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vivek.
Bye.
A network should last a lifetime. Let us help you create lasting professional relationships with our world-class mentors through the Biopatrika Industry Mentorship Program. A strategic guidance program unlike no other, full of expert interviews, industry internship opportunities, CV writing, inflection point analysis, life maps, and of course, the gateway to your dream career. For a limited time only, all our services are freely available for you as we truly want you to succeed.